In January of 2018, I was working as an emergency medicine physician, and my mom, after a really long 12-year battle with Alzheimer's dementia, was at the very end. Had a really grueling last week of hospice, and she passed. And 4 days later, I was at home in our kitchen working on her eulogy, and all of a sudden, it sounded like this freight train burst into my left ear. The room started spinning like a tilt-a-whirl, and I had double vision, and then I lost half of my vision, and then my right arm and leg drooped. I knew I was having a major neurological event. I wasn't sure exactly what kind, but I thought with all of the pain I was having in my head, perhaps I could be bleeding inside my head. I didn't know how many seconds or minutes of consciousness I had left on this earth. So I grabbed my children and, ready or not, said what I thought were maybe my final goodbyes. It was pretty heavy.
Kate, can you hear me? Katie, listen. Listen to me. Open your eyes, listen. Can you hear me?
What's your emergency?
Something is wrong with my wife.
Either in X-ray or in the lab. Let me.
Walking away from that event, realizing that I was lucky to get out of that with not only my life, but I was lucky to get out of that with the use of my arms and my legs and my brain all intact. I sort of had an epiphany moment where I was trying to go back and practice after that, and was really feeling super stressed, and it was like a very toxic stress, and I was upset all the time. And my husband said to me, you don't have to keep doing this. You can take a break for your health, for your mental health, for your physical health. You just had this major medical event happen. If you want to take a break, and you have an opportunity to do something different if you want to. In a little more emotional way than I'm saying it right now, I said, I've always loved movies. I have screenplays in my head. I have things I wanted to write. I've always been a writer and a storyteller, but it was always on the side. It was like a hobby. I enrolled in film school thinking I'd be taking a break from medicine, never realizing that maybe 2 months after I started school, this pandemic hit the United States, and all of my colleagues were in full force facing COVID. And at that point, I had been out of practice for long enough that I didn't feel I could just step back in. And so I continued to pursue this new chapter of my life, but not at no cost. It came at the cost of a pretty tremendous amount of survivor guilt, right? Like, why am I out here not in the trenches with all of my colleagues, my medical school friends, and my residency friends, and people I worked with as an attending? Here I am, like, sitting behind a computer, learning how to make movies. While I can't step in and be one of the people rowing the boat as a physician right now, I can contribute by taking these skills I've learned and giving my friends and colleagues a voice. I am going to be working on a documentary basically paralleling the steps I'm learning as a filmmaker with documenting their experience at this time. And I'm pulling people from my medical school class and people I went to residency with, both when I was a general surgery resident and an emergency medicine resident, and people I was attending with. Basically anyone who wants to talk to me about their experience. And contribute as much as I can in that way, and I hope it ends up being therapeutic, informative, not just for other physicians, but for the general public to see just what these physicians, who are people, they're just people coming and going from their homes, are really going through.
The words that summarize the COVID pandemic as a healthcare professional right now for me are exhausted, scared, frustrated.
Exhausting, frustrating,
disillusionment,
tragedy,
confusion,
frightening, lonely,
Fear.
Also inspired.
Camaraderie.
hope,
surreal,
Faith.
A learning experience. COVID has been a learning experience for me.